Every single month, a new monthly candle is formed. And when a new monthly candle is formed, that means that we need to do some monthly analysis. And one of the reasons why we're doing monthly analysis is to check how the full month has moved. Every single day's candle closure, each week's weekly closure, and then that one big candle on the monthly time frame. Hey you guys, what's going on? This is Shaquan here from SLFX Trading, and in today's video we are going to be doing some analysis on a few currency pairs. Now, as always, you guys, I love starting with the dollar index, and one of the reasons why I love starting out with the dollar index is because it gauges the dollar strength for the major currency pairs. So what I'm going to be doing today is breaking down this particular index, this particular indice from the monthly, weekly, daily time frame. Now, if you are new to me, I typically do not drop down below the daily time frame. I am a swing trader, and prayerfully in the future I will become a position trader. I'm learning to have the courage to hold trades as long or longer than I have. The longest I've held a trade so far has been around 4 months, and I'm praying that I can beat that in the near future. Now, let's go ahead and let's get started. So if you are new to me, I'd like to welcome you into my trading space. And if you're not new to me, I'd like to say welcome back. Now, normally I show my face, but it's early in the morning. I gotta hit the road. So y'all just gonna hear my voice, and I hope y'all like it. Okay, so looking on the dollar index Tradingview, I have two chart layouts that's up. On the left hand side I have the monthly, on the right hand side I have the daily. Okay, now I want you guys to know this: what happens on either time frame is not different. They're going to show the same exact name, but we're going to break them down into cycles. Okay, so if you guys look at what's going on the monthly time frame, I want you guys to notice what's going on with the trend. I'm going to give you guys like a few seconds, and I'm probably going to put a poll up here somewhere, but if you could tell me what the trend is on the monthly time frame, what would you say? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Or you can even comment that below. Now, I'm praying that you said bearish, and here's the reason why. If you look at the fluctuations from $94.74, $91.74, or I'm sorry, let's go back, $91.74 up to $94.74, down to $89.21. And I'll make this bigger just in case you can't see. You will see that these numbers are fluctuating to the downside, which means that we are in a bearish trend on the dollar index. Okay, now this month closed as a rejection candle, and that means that this here is a pullback against the downtrend. Okay, so even though price was going down, these push up were retracements or pullback against the downtrend. Okay, now if you look at the candle before for June, this is price going up. And even if I were to ask you guys what's going on the daily time frame, some of you guys may say, well, Shaquan, price was going in an uptrend. Now, if you never went up to the higher time frame, the weekly or the monthly, I would have to agree with you. Price was in an uptrend, but I'd like to call it a retracing uptrend, since we have gone up to the monthly time frame to see what's really going on. This is called putting a cycle with your trend. Price is either in trend continuation, it's either pulling back, or it's either reversing. And we have two of those cycles right here. Well, actually all three. So let me explain it. Price is in a downtrend. Great. We got the retracement. That is this area here on the daily time frame, just broken down into little candles, because this information on the daily created this information on the monthly, and they do move hand in hand, right? Now, as you guys can see, what has price done right here? Let me zoom in a little bit more. What has price done right here at $91.78? Price has reversed, which means the buyers were pushing price up, and then here comes the sellers and they push price down. And this full piece of information from the beginning of July to the end of July is what created this rejection candle on the monthly time frame. So now this is when we as the trader have to put this information together. What does this mean for the dollar index? And what this could mean is we could possibly see some more bearish movement in the month of August because the sellers have come into the market. Now, we don't know if this is the lowest that price will go, but this is when we can start to make decisions as to what we want to see in the future so we can place trades as traders. And if you're like me, you're looking for movements for the future as swing traders. Not right now, but in the future. But here's what I mean. We don't sell low. If the seller's in the market, in order for us to make really good money, we want to sell high. So we need to see price pull back just a little bit. And we need to see if it can stay below $93.19. Here's the reason why. If price is in a true downtrend, if it can stay below $93.19, that means it can pull back and not go above that number and potentially continue to drop down so we can sell. So with that being said, we do need evidence of that. We need to see if price can stay above this bullish candle, this bullish inverted hammer that printed on Friday. And if it can stay above it, then this is when you're going to look to say, okay, I believe price could go here. And if it goes to this certain point, this is where I could take a sell from. Now, I don't trade the dollar index, but I do analyze based off of it. And one of the biggest reasons is because of the major currency pairs. I can use this to trade that information. So let me show you guys an example. Let's go over to Euro USD, and I want you guys to remember how this looks because Euro USD mimics this oppositely. It's like a reflection. Okay, so I want you guys to remember what the dollar index looked like. Let's go to the monthly time frame on Euro USD. So the dollar index was making a lower low, lower high, lower low situation on the monthly time frame. But look at Euro USD. We have a higher low here at 1.16 and then a higher high at 1.235. And remember the retracement that was going on the dollar index. It was dropping down. Well, this one is pushing up. And this one is closing. You can say it's a doji, you can say it's rejection candles, whatever you want it to be. But I want you guys to look at what's going on the daily. As the market on the dollar index was making higher highs, higher lows on the daily, this one was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So if I asked you, okay, well, what is the trend on the monthly? And you say bullish, great. And if I ask you, well, what is the trend on the daily? Like I said, if you never went up in those time frames, you would say, Shaquan, price in a downtrend. But now that we've looked at the monthly time frame, this is when we can say, okay, even though price is in the uptrend, all of this information going against the trend is actually a retracement. We're actually in these areas we were trading against the trend. But now look at what price has done on the dollar, on the Euro USD. Price has made a higher high. Price made a higher high. It pushed up above the last lower high. So this is now the reversal stage. And the reversal stage says maybe this is where the sellers are going to stop selling. Now the buyers have come into the market. Now we don't buy high. So what we need to do is see if price can pull back. And this is where you're going to wait to see for yourself what you're trading, where you would like to see price pull back to so you can be the buyer. Okay. For me, I would love to see if price could stay above my last lowest low here at 1.175, $1.17. And here's the reason why. If this is a true uptrend, if the bulls or the buyers are back in the market, we would love to see if price could stay above $1.17, because if not, and price passes this number, this was just a fake out. This higher high would just be a fake out. Another reason why I would love to see a pullback is because I need to know where I'm going to take profit. Sure, I could take profit all the way back up here to $1.23.5, which more than likely that would be one of my take profits if price can pull back and prove it can stay above $1.17. And if that is the case, that would be a really great take profit. But for a shorter term take profit, we need to see some pullback. There has to be some pullback there. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at for a future potential trade on Euro USD, and then you guys manage yours accordingly. Okay, so I would love to see price come back between, for me personally, $1.18 even, and then $1.18.3. That's a 30 pip range, a 30 pip difference. But I'm looking to see if it would come back into one of my estimation zones. Now, me saying estimation zones, I am a supply and demand trader. As you guys can see, I have a clean chart. I trade to the right. I don't really go to the left. If you look at a lot of my videos, you'll notice that I rarely go to the left to make trading decisions. So I'm sticking here with current price action because this is where we are in the markets now. And if you're one of those people who's been having a hard time when you're going to the left, it's because you're probably neglecting what's going on in the market right now. So I challenge you to maybe start looking more to the right versus going all the way to the left. This one's going to be Euro AUD. Now, the week before last, I was hoping that price would come back down a little bit lower to give me a buy, but it never did. Instead, it made a rejection candle and pushed back up, and kudos to one of my students who actually profited from this trade on Euro AUD. She bought, she hit profit in her live account, and I'm very proud of you. So I'm going to give you a public shout out. Good job. But now look what the market has done, and we're going to focus on the daily on this one more so than a monthly, because the monthly closed very, very bullish. So because it closed very, very bullish on the monthly time frame, what I would really love to do is see if price could stay above the higher high here on the daily time frame. And if it can, I'm going to wait to see if it will come back into my zone around $1.59. I'll round it off $1.60s. And if we can buy back up to the upside. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how today's candle closure is going to close, but we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, we'll see. So this is how I am looking at these currency pairs, and prayerfully they give us something that we can work with. They do, especially this one, because if she pulls back sometime this week into my zone, I'm going to buy her back up to her previous high. The only time this trade gets invalidated is if it goes below $1.59, and that's it. That's it. And I also have an alert here, so I don't have to watch it. Y'all see this orange arrow? That means that I'm alerted. So if price does come back into that zone, I'll be alerted. I'll be triggered. So you guys, I pray that this helps you when it comes to multiple time frame analysis, because it gets tricky when you're using multiple time frames. And I've seen the confusion where sometimes you may go from the monthly, weekly, daily, all the way down to a 5 or 15 minutes. And that's your, if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. But if you find that it is confusing you, one thing that I will say is to take some of those time frames out. There's no one says you had to use all of those time frames. You don't. You can use literally one time frame and be profitable. That's how I teach most traders. Hey, we're going to use one time frame and one time frame only. Then when you're ready to advance, we'll add a time frame. Then when you're ready to advance, we'll add a time frame, right? And if you're not ready to advance, we can always take away a time frame. There's nothing wrong with taking away a time frame. Okay? So I pray that this video helped you guys. And if you have questions, if you have any questions at all, then comment down below. And if you would like to see more analysis like this, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.